Mr. Baker, will you do some pledge of
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the Lincoln County Commission met in regular session on June 5, 2014 at 6 p.m. in room 108 of the Lincoln County Courthouse. Members present are Darrell Baker, County Clerk, Terry Matthews, President, Charles Vance, Commissioner, and Charles McCain, Commissioner. The meeting is called to order by K.K. Matthews. And we needed an approval of the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 15, 2014 at 6 p.m. I'll second. Motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That being unanimous, motion carries. We also need a motion to approve the minutes of the special session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 15, 2014 at 5:30 p.m. for the public hearing on the Lower Mud River Water Project. I'll second. There's a motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. With that being unanimous, the motion carries. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the special session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 19, 2014 at 2:30 to canvass the election. And I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That being unanimous, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the minutes for the special session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 22nd, 2014 at 6:10 p.m. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. That being unanimous, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the special session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 22nd, 2014 at 6:15 p.m. to certify the election result, except for the U.S. Senate race. I second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Any motion to approve the minutes of the special session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on May 22nd, 2014 at 2:30 p.m. to certify the election results for the U.S. Senate race. No, I'm sorry, May the 23rd. I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. With that being unanimous, motion carries. Now we're at public comment. First, Mike Mosteller, second, regarding the establishment of fund for future slips on Colburn Road. Mike Mosteller, the second president. Since he's not present, we'll move down the list. Next, we have Scott Atkins regarding a cemetery, and I believe this is Lovejoy Cemetery. I spoke with Scott Atkins prior to the meeting. I think in the last meeting, we had a gentleman named Vernon Lovejoy, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong, that came to the commission requesting, I think, an easement or right-of-way to the Lovejoy Cemetery through the county commission property. And we had discussed actually maybe trying to figure out or have that property surveyed to make sure that we own what we say we own and we're not, granting easement on someone else's property. I spoke with Doc Vance about the issue, and he thinks that maybe that we have a survey on file in the county clerk office for that land, but if we don't, we have on the agenda tonight to survey our property. So that's basically where we are with this cemetery. It was just a request for an easement. And that's, of course, that's not on the agenda. The only things on the agenda is for, to have the property surveyed if we do not have a survey on file. So if there's anybody that would like to address the commission about that particular issue, feel free to. But just to kind of give you all a heads up, I know it was in the paper about the cemetery or whatever, and I know that there was a lot of people that didn't really understand what that was all about, but the only thing that we're doing, maybe it wasn't in the paper.
It was in the paper, but I mean, it was exactly what you just said.
Right.
Couldn't
what
be
I'm
simpler.
saying is, But I think that there was, I don't know, maybe some other talk about some other issues at the cemetery, but the only thing that we were discussing is our property boundaries currently. So if anybody, Mr. Atkins, if you have anything that you'd like to say, feel free to.
Well, I was here 6 or 7 years ago for the county commission about this same road. They said they couldn't do nothing about it, but I don't know who was on the committee. I mean, who was the county commissioner back then. It's the same deal. And I got two brother-in-laws that used to be contractors in Mingo County, and they said the road, the excavator can fix that road in 1 day.
This is the road that where everybody travels right now?
Yeah.
Correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And I've talked to some people in the area, and they think that the road's in pretty good shape. I mean, there's some things that need to be done to it, but, you know.
There's one slip down there at the guardrail,
Right.
there where the lake is.
But,
And I'll agree myself that, you know, backhoe, half a day's work you gotta fix, which I do have a petition here. There's some people that want the road to stay where it's at that I'd like to submit,
well, I don't think that there was any question or discussion about changing that road at all.
but, okay. I mean, that's what we're here for, we want the
Yeah.
road that where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't think there was any discussion on that behalf. This gentleman, Vernon Lovejoy, came in.
Well, I'll have to add this here, Vernon come down to my house,
And you are, can you tell,
I'm Darrell Lovejoy.
there, okay. All right, go ahead.
And Vernon came down to my house, I mean, I gotta admit, we're all family, but I hate to admit it, but, he's wanting to close the road down. He told me he wanted to close the road down. He wanted to put a gate up, he wanted to shut his property off. That's what he, you know, out for. I mean, that's what he
Oh.
wants.
Well, you know, that's not before us.
Right, I mean, I understand.
You all understand that. But, what we were gonna do was just have the property surveyed. And I think, Mr. Atkins was talking about, you know, who owns the road, who doesn't own the road. And we'll be able to ascertain that question or that answer whenever we get that information. If that's, I think that
Surveyor.
should be agreeable with everyone.
I mean, we traveled that road for years, and all my family's buried out there, all of them.
It's a touchy situation whenever you get into stuff like that. But I mean, as far as the county commission concerned, I think what we're trying to do is just find out where our property lines are and ascertain who owns the road and go at it from there.
I was up there yesterday. I just kind of drove up the road just to see where the slip was, and I'm in agree with what he says. I think it's a fixable thing, from
Yeah.
what I could see, so.
Well, see, here's the thing about it, he wants the road closed. And I talked to prosecuting attorney, Gabe Hart, and he says I'd have to get a cemetery lawyer.
Well, I mean, I
That
don't
don't
know.
make sense to me.
I don't know anything about, I mean, he did request closing that road. I don't remember that even being in the
All the
conversation.
markers, people on the side they own, a lot of the markers are disappearing.
They pulled up all my markers, or we were supposed to do that. Mr. Ludwig gave us that, that's their uncle, and they took up our markers.
Well, I'll tell you what we could do. I mean, we'll have the, if we don't have a proper survey on file, that's one of the steps I think that we're gonna try to take.
Well, if you all own the road, who's gonna fix it?
I believe that would be the state road.
The state's already put
Yeah.
money on that road down there to fix it.
No.
Oh, have it? I thought they did.
No, I talked to the state about it. My son took an excavator and worked up there 2 days to gravel that road, and clean the ditch and
And
everything.
they didn't put any rock.
He didn't charge a dime. He put the rock on
Did he buy the rock though?
it. Yeah, he bought the rock.
Okay, I didn't know. I seen where there'd been some work had been done before.
Yeah.
And we could talk to the state road about that as
But I talked to them, they said them they belong to county commission.
well. Well, it's easy to pass the buck.
But I've tried to get my road fixed for 3 months. And the state road man told me the district engineer won't let them do nothing West Ham. I called Charleston, they said that's a lie.
Well,
But I still, and the engineer called my wife and said he was gonna come and check it this week. Today Thursday, I saw him.
we're gonna see what we can do. I mean,
Okay,
right now,
we appreciate it. I do.
We'll go at
They
it
do.
from there, okay? Floor May, Daryl, Dallas, and Lena Lovejoy, do you all have anything that you'd like to say?
Dallas.
Do you all have anything that you'd like to add in public
Well, the
comment?
slip is in, ought to be in the watershed properties, you know, where the slip's at, so, you know, every how they need to fix it. It's, they don't get no more property there.
And Vernon Lovejoy,
He wrote a letter.
he wrote a letter.
And he has two pictures here, and copies of them because they're odd shaped, I couldn't get them.
And also Shane Kuntz told me he had to have him escorted out of the funeral home, he's gonna call the law and Vernon, and then his daughter, that lawyer calls on the telephone custody amount, he'll talk to Shane about it.
Okay.
But y'all have to say the cemetery not the issue, but they're sending letters out to they own the cemetery, and they do not own the whole cemetery, our property line is too.
Well, I think what we're doing is I think that you understand the route we're taking right now. And I
Yeah, I
think there's
know.
no decisions being made on this cemetery. I mean, I think what we're trying to do is ascertain, our property,
Right.
see who owns the road, and try to get the road fixed.
Well, could we put a camera up and find out who's throwing those markers away?
I don't know whether the county, I mean, you can if you want to,
That
but I
lady-
mean, I don't think the county commission's going to get involved.
Is that lady?
Yes, sir.
You may want to talk to the deputy about that.
But once we find out what we do own and things like that, I'm sure because the Corps of Engineers have to handle anything that went on at the dam.
Right.
If anything done there, so if that does happen to be the property there, then we could talk to the Corps about fixing the road and things like that. You know, especially if the DOH would do anything about it.
So conservation does that road.
But I
Well, we
I
can
don't
talk to
know.
them about it as well.
Yeah, we can, once we find out exactly who owns the road,
Yeah.
what it is there, then we can go forward and find out who needs to work on it.
Okay.
But I didn't think, like I said, when I just kind of went through there and looked and come back out, and it's a lot better than my road is to my house. But I don't think, I mean, it didn't look to me, it looked like it was a pretty usable road as far as I was concerned, so I don't, you know, I
You see
didn't
that new
see.
sign we put up?
I know, I must not went up that far.
No, it's right before you start
Oh,
up.
when you started, yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
put it up last Friday.
What if we go up there and he puts us out?
Well, I think that you would have to, you probably have to. consult
911.
the
Okay.
Sheriff's office.
I just want to know, you know.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll move on. The next we'll have Rick McDowell with the Hearts Community Septic.
I just wanted to update and encourage the commission to try to move this forward. I think there are a couple of important points. One is that in July 2013, the commission bought the property where the school is, which is where the wastewater system is. And when you buy the property, you get the responsibility of the wastewater system. So it's a direct discharge system. Because it's a direct discharge system, there's supposed to be monitoring happening all the time. There hasn't been any monitoring since July 13th. So that's a potential violation. If there was monitoring, an even more significant problem is that the current system is failing. That's why we want to put a new system in. So what is getting discharged violates the Federal Clean Water Act. And the other thing is that when we bid the project out, we closed the bids and opened them, April 16th, usually it's a 90-day bid period. After 90 days, you have to rebid it. We are approaching 90 days next month. So I think it's just really important to keep the commission from getting in any hot water with the federal government that we try to get this thing resolved.
I think the only thing we're waiting on is the property owner, isn't it?
That's my understanding.
The property, yes.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and try to contact them and see what's going on. Because it's my understanding everything was gonna be cleared up back 6-8 weeks ago, so, but I haven't talked with them.
I can't get in touch with him, all Hospital's supposed to help get in touch with him, and haven't. The only deed, and Rick helped me find the deed, and then Hospital's came up with a description, but we haven't ever spoke to them about
Okay,
that.
I'll try to get hold of them.
Doesn't that have to be,
You wanna take care of that? What we'll do is we'll put it on the next agenda.
Okay.
okay? That and the septic system to accept the bid. Okay?
Doesn't that have to be checked every daily?
No.
No, none of it.
All right. Do you have anything else?
The other thing was, a couple seasons ago, we asked the commission for help trying to get the road to Camp Lakeview chip and tar. I think I'm using the right, tarred and chip. I'm not sure what the technology is. You know, that hasn't happened, and it would be great, especially if we had any kind of emergency, to have the road a little better passable.
It's not in real good shape.
What's the distance you're talking about there? Do you know how far it is you want to have that done?
Gosh, it's gravel. So it
Seems like
takes you a
long ways.
while. Maybe two, does anybody know?
That's not-
2 miles, I would guess.
But the hill's in real bad shape.
2 miles from
I
the
think
church.
there's only certain times a year that the county has that equipment.
Yeah, yeah. What I was gonna say was we probably want to put on the agenda, just send a letter to the DOH next meeting, put on the agenda and send them a letter, ask them to evaluate that for tar and chip.
Let's do that.
Great, thank you.
We need to get that done before the summertime. You wanted to speak about Camp Lakeview?
That was the point on campaign.
Okay.
It was the road, trying to get the road, go better passable.
All right. If there's nothing else, Rick, we'll move to David Roberts with the Guyan Valley River Race.
Yes, just wanted to give a little update on a project that I need to sit and talk, sorry. But I do have a flyer I'd like to give you all also, and actually there's one hopefully coming from, I think got you coming there. Several years ago, and I don't know if all may remember, they had a river race from 4 Mile to West Hamlin. I believe the last running was probably 88, 89, was held by the JCs in West Hamlin. And last year, a couple of us were talking about ways to promote outdoor physical activity, just bring some more opportunities in the county. And this was one idea that a couple people started getting together, talking about, started getting a couple loose meetings together and picked a date, and now here we are. And I apologize, I know it's a little late to be here for an update, but truly one of the first meetings I've been in town for a while, so I did want to come and let everybody know what's going on. We're going to have 3 categories or heats. As you can see, john boats, canoes, and kayaks. And there's prices on with the registration. We got shirts for everybody that registers. They'll get the Guyan Dock River Regatta shirt for the year. And then there's medallions or medals for each, first, second, and third for each one of the categories. We have worked with, Tri-River Transit's working with us. We're going to provide a shuttle service, so anybody that comes in and drops their boat off and gets in the water at Branchland, floats down, gets out, we'll be able to get a shuttle back up to get their vehicle to come down and get their boats. We're working with the Day Report Center. They're coming, going to work on cleaning out some access points for us, and also work on the West Hamlin side, because we don't have real good river access. They're going to be there to help get boats out, carry boats up to the road, and load for us. So just a way to, kind of involve a couple of different organizations. Mr. Ralph Triplett is here with us, and a couple others in the Branchland area. I don't know if you've been up to the boat dock at Branchland, but done a lot of work in that area. We're having a flag memorial service dedicating the flagpole to Lee County veterans. So just trying to do some different things. I know, some people mentioned we're going down to Davis Creek, or not Davis Creek, Madison Creek. They do have a very nice boat ramp that they completed, last year, did some updates to. But in addition to getting out and getting active, a secondary goal, I want folks to put in and take out in Lincoln County. So just really trying to promote the county, get some different opportunities, some long-term goals with it. Would like to see You know, we're talking to DNR about some, permanent boat ramp access at West Hamlin, and they've looked at a couple different areas, and they like the thought of that. If we can promote something in, the Ranger area, so we'd have access points at Harts, Ranger, Branson, and West Hamlin, I think would, you know, offer up a lot of different opportunities for the area. I guess, an ask would be, and again, this is my fault, I missed the opportunity to get on the agenda formally, but any support or suggestions or that could be offered would be greatly appreciated. We do have some monetary outlay, some individuals have potentially committed, just personally. Lincoln County High School's graphic design class did the shirts for us, which is, you know, pretty good opportunity to just bring the students in, giving them that, but, you know, at a reduced rate also. You know, we have, you know, Porta John set up for the event, a couple other little things, you know, incidentals, the medallions, some other T-shirts, you know, so we just looking for some different ideas and support, but also to invite any and all out to the event, so.
We'll be entering that. I think, I talked to the assessor, and, we're actually gonna be entering this race. So if you wanna enter, I'll, canoe. So if you wanna bring a canoe out and get a friend.
Well, I'll probably be in the kayak.
I smell a challenge.
But now, if there's, I may have a canoe also. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be racing, but I'll probably be in the kayak, but, if you're all there, I'll still catch you.
I don't see my category, it's more like pond.
Yeah. Inner tubes. Right.
I know, I had talked today before, out west, where I go to, there's a whole business built on just taking people back to their cars when they float down,
Right.
things like that, and having these access sites would promote someone maybe going into that business of doing that, when people do float and things, so that's one thing they do need, is someone to take them back to their vehicles and things like that. But, glad to see you guys doing this, and that was a real good job y'all did on the branch, and I was real impressed.
Yeah, I'd like to say that too.
Yeah.
That's a group of people, like myself, citizens, that called in, my friends, to help me do that work over there. We started on this last year, and in the long term, I would really like to get involved, Guyandotte River Water Trail. That's been talked, just like Ralph Kim has for years and years. They've lost some of their funding for that. Since that time, we've been able to go through the Coal Heritage Trail with a $15,000 grant. It goes back to the Great Hall Institute, which is going to start the mapping process and restart the whole system again. Part of the reason for this event, by the way, the one that we had with the JCs that we ran back in the 80s, was to kick off something, and you'll see on their promo there, it's promoting the development of the Guyandotte River Trail. So hopefully there'll be more to add to it. This is just a way to steer up interest and get people out. David and I went down last year, I floated from Chapmansville to Salt Rock on 4 different trips. I had DNR people that went along and evaluated the sites we put in. I know Ranger desperately needs one, but that's another agency in itself. They tell you where they're gonna put them. We do at West Hamlin. If there's anything you help us with, we need cooperation over there on that end, like getting the units in and out of the way. And I have a release that the paper will have. That is Flag Day. It is also Father's Day weekend. There was reasons for picking that day, why it was selected. And we're going to honor those, Mr. Brunny, who was one of the last ones that was killed in Branson in 1945. And Mr. Chapman was one of the first ones killed in 1942. And right there on that crossroads, that little town. So far up to this point, most of the work has been done by volunteers. I've had people have flagpoles, the benches, the railings, seed, everything else has been donated by local citizens.
Evelyn Cartwright has been, with the Park and Recreation. I know that she's been active in this, and I spoke with her. Park and Recreation, are they able to offer any type of funding?
I haven't really approached them about funding. While this process was going on, Mr. J. Davis donated a section of land that are adjacent to the 4-mile bridge. And that is all under Parks and Rec now. The last meeting, I know one of the first things we would like to have is some electricity over there. We'd like to have some lighting. We talked to the Tri-Rivers, and they're willing to set us a bus stop over there on the state road, over on the upper side of the road. But they'd like to have a little bit of light, actually. We would,
Hey, David, do you all have, are you a nonprofit or anything like that, or?
Well,
but,
as we've kind of gone through, and I had, again, a lot of meetings informally, was trying to kind of roll through to a little committee on the Parks and Rec. By no means adding anything else to anybody on there, but, like I said, a couple meetings have been rescheduled, we missed a couple, been out of town. Everyone's been to a couple of bars at West Hamlin.
What I was thinking about, if you hadn't had it set up that way yet, they could go through Parks and Rec and
Right.
have them apply for the grant through us for that $1,000, we give on projects
Right.
and things. And that'll be in what, in August, we're doing that. So you guys go, if you don't have that status, then go through Parks and Rec and apply, and we can, like I say, we give up to $1,000 for projects, and this is a really good project, not only for the recreational end of it, but from the economic end too. And I think it needs to, I think it needs to be looked at in that way as being an economic stimulus for the river also. So-
Well, that was our hope, was to roll in and through, like I said, Parks and Rec, because, essentially they got the mechanics of the mechanism in place already, rather than having another organization with officers and the process. So I was hoping to do maybe a subcommittee of that, or however they want to do it.
Well, I think that I know that she's been working on that, and I know it's it's right up, it's exactly everything that you are doing.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, just wanted to share and invite all out. Like to see y'all, if you can't float, come over.
I have one of those flags.
Absolutely.
I'll be there.
You mean, sure,